I missed out on Halloween. And, well, it's because I'm a big dumb idiot. I should have done a Halloween episode, but not to fear, my friends. For we are having our Halloween episode today. Now, I might be a few days too late, but go back, grab your costume, and then come back to hear this review. Don't worry, I'll wait. Are you back? Good. Now, before we go on, please remember to leave a like, hit that sub button, and please remember to share the video. I am a small channel, and this really helps me fight the algorithm. But still, I very much appreciate that you are watching this video. It very much warms the cold piece of coal that is my heart. I am also a web novelist, so the link to my book, Phantom Grid, which is an action high fantasy story with sci fi elements for those of you who are interested in that kind of thing, can be found in the description below. Also, I have a Discord in which we can talk about general web novel content, my book, this channel. We can even talk about your books, book recommendations. I'm very interested in hearing from you from there. And the link to it will also be in the description below. Also, if you've been seeing my reviews for a while or you're new here, know that the link to this book, if you're interested in checking it out, can be found in the description below. It will be the first thing that you see. Now, Let It Out is a web novel. Is a web novel from webnovel.com, written by Fluffy Pie, and currently having 84 chapters. Now let's go to the synopsis so you, the audience, can understand our book better. Because remember, like I've said before, a good synopsis is very important to the story. Pro just wanted to live a normal life in a normal world. But the world might not be as normal after all. Please, I just want to let it out. Since you won't let me let it out, and I'll force everyone to hold it in as well. Well, that is the strangest synopsis that I have seen in a long time. Now, let's see how it works. So, some points that I'll praise the synopsis on is the fact that it's very vague and minimal. Enough to draw the audience's attention, but also I could feel that it might need some more meat to its bones in order to have more of a hook. Because if I didn't know from the tags that this was a horror, scary comedy book, I generally would not know to read it if I would be interested in it. So the vagueness will get some people, but it will also lose some people. So leave it up to the author what they want to do. If they want to change it or if they want to keep it the way it is. So this story, like I said, is a horror comedy. I mean, the first chapter is someone dying while trying to take a dump or to let it out as they're attacked by a ghost. Writing style, this story is pretty good. The style of writing is good and grammatically it is well polished. I know that I've said this before, but the editing needed to get this kind of writing is a real pain in the ass. And regardless of a story's quality, as a web novelist without professional editors, it's hard for the rest of us. So when I see this type of polish, I just must praise the author because it's hard. So if you're squeamish about stuff like toilet humor, because like I said, the protagonist in this story dies while taking a dump, then this might not be for you. But in terms of what I mean by toilet humor, I don't mean that it goes overboard with, the usual gross out humor. Just a toilet is mentioned and someone died doing it. And also like I said, the main character has a power to cause people to constipate or to get attracted to his toilet. So might not be for you if you're squeamish. But if you can hold it in, sorry, you can read it and it will be, well, you can read and you can tell me what you think about it. So it is kind of funny, the story. Like I said, horror comedy, the jokes for the most part really land very well. I mean, our hero Pro E is a ghost possessing a damn toilet who died by being strangled by another ghost while taking a dump. Also, having the power to make people be constipated is one of the most unique and hilarious abilities I have ever seen in all of fiction. Though, when it comes to what I could criticize about this one mainly comes down to personal preference. And what I mean about that is the use of the usual gamer style mechanics in the story. Not that this will affect your enjoyment or that the story devolves into simply amping the hero's power levels, but I've read too much of these types of stories which have this concept of gamer style abilities that is kind of soured me on the concept. Thankfully, the story doesn't fall for a lot of those pits, but I really would have done without them. Not that I'm going after the author in any kind of way, just it's a personal preference thing. It's like how most people won't enjoy fantasy. I like fantasy, and I can understand most people are interested in the stories of fantasy stuff. But that's mainly my problem. So, yeah, the gamer stuff, not much of a fan. As for characters, as I always mention, they're important, and here they're okay. Pro Yi, the protagonist, manages to carry the story, and the supporting cast is entertaining enough. It's fun to see, well, his humor. He's very funny as a character, and I kind of feel bad for the guy, and I enjoyed him. Also, now, pacing wise, this story is slightly far faster than most other stories. It isn't too fast that it feels like an episode of Speed Racer, but it isn't taking its time like a snail, like an injured snail to get where it needs to go. It isn't too fast, it isn't too slow, but it's slightly slower than your usual web novel because, I mean, it's slightly faster than your usual web novel. To give an example with the previous story that I did, The Last Celestial, this one is far faster in terms of pacing. So, as far as enjoyment, I generally enjoyed it. I wouldn't say it's the best story that I've read in a while, but it isn't the worst. It's okay. But, like I said, you can either tell me in the comments or on my Discord, which I have a link to in the description below. You can tell me what you thought and if you agree or disagree with everything that I've said. So, this has been Red Chaos 1, signing off.